Hello students, welcome back to our next session on environmental sciences, and today our topic is ecosystem value services and carrying capacity. Since the beginning, nature has provided human beings many benefits in terms of food, atmosphere, regulation of different nutrient cycles, mineral resources, etc. And we reach a certain point that humans has to do something for the present and future generations. So today we are going to discuss what all the services the ecosystem is giving to us, and we are going to evaluate those services economically. We all know that different types of ecosystems are known to have a wide variety of flora and fauna, and they also perform several important functions. Few of the functions are like producers. Right from the beginning of the earth, they are in this process that is photosynthesis. At the same time, all green plants they absorb carbon dioxide and they purify the atmosphere. And there are some ecosystems which can absorb toxic pollutants from the environment. Ecosystem regulates water cycle, not only water cycle but also carbon cycle. It also regulates sulfur cycle. It also regulates nitrogen cycle. An ecosystem also treats wastewater, controls climate. It also controls population. We will discuss in the later slides. And ecosystem important service is it also controls pests. So these are the services offered by the ecosystem. So I want to classify the services into 4 types. The foremost thing is provisioning service. That means ecosystem is giving food for us. Not only food but also water, wood, fiber, and through medicinal plants it is also supplying some drugs for us. At the same time, there are some regulating services like climatic regulation. Most important thing, we are enjoying many fruits because of pollination of crops, that is through ecosystem, birds, bees, etc. And ecosystem also control floods. All these are regulating services of ecosystem. And if you go for the cultural ecosystem services, as you all know, poets are writing many poems. Lot of poetry is there based on the environment, that is the inspiration. Lot of recreation, education, and ecosystems are giving aesthetic beauty for your eyes. At the same time, the supporting services like soil formation, biodiversity. It is biodiversity that it means presence of different flora and fauna. Because of that biodiversity only, lot of living organisms are existing on the earth from millions of years. So for all these functions provided by the ecosystems, we do not pay them directly, but we pay indirectly when we suffer from their absence. So the value of the world's ecosystem services and natural capital, the book published in 1997 in the volume 387, ecosystem values were evaluated. I will give some values. The service of ecosystem like soil formation, if we are ready to pay, we have to pay 17.1 into 10 power 9 US dollars, and this rate is in 1997. May have been triple or triple by 2020. The recreation services are 3.0 into 10 power 9 US dollars. For climatic regulation, it is 1.8 into 10 power 9 US dollars. And if I go for some other services, the production of food and raw materials, 0.8 into 10 power 9 dollars. Atmospheric gas balance, 0.7 into 10 power 9 dollars. And for pollination, 0.4 into 10 power 9 dollars. All are US dollars. And all other services, there are many other services like 1.6 into 10 power 9 US dollars. That means the value of the ecosystem services is very rich. So that is about the ecosystem. Now we'll go for the carrying capacity. I think you can imagine something, the definition by watching the pictures. Let us let's go for the definition. The number of individuals of a given species that can be sustained indefinitely in a given environment is called carrying capacity. I repeat, the number of individuals of a given species that can be sustained indefinitely in a given environment is called carrying capacity. So, for example, growth in population. Population can increase through births and immigration. At the same time, population can decrease through deaths and immigration. When a population approaches its carrying capacity, the rate of increase usually slows down and the birth rate equals to the death rate. Population of different species grow and increase in number depending upon their capacity to grow. I want to show a small graph for you. See, on the x-axis there is time and on the y-axis there is population size. No population can increase in its size indefinitely because of presence of carrying capacity. So there are some, see, because of the biotic potential, we think that we can grow indefinitely or the population can grow indefinitely. But there are some limiting factors like environmental resistance which maintain the carrying capacity, that is, which maintain the population of a given species in a particular space. So carrying capacity can be determined by two factors. One is biotic potential of the species, other one is environmental resistance. In order to understand this, I'll show a small picture for you. So imagine this is in 1970s. There are only two fishes in a pond. Because of the biotic potential or rich resources, the number of reproduction has been increased, and in 1980s there are now 4 fishes in the pond. This is just an approximation. In 1990s, as the time continues, because of rich natural resources in the pond, so the biotic potential has been improved a lot and the size of the fishes population has also been increased, but not greater than its carrying capacity. So that started a limiting factor. With the increase in population, there is a decrease in oxygen supply. So as the time continues, some other limiting factors also came into existence. Low food supply in the pond. As the population is increased, previously is rich in natural resources. Now the food has been decreased. As the population increased, more number of diseases came into existence. As the population of the pond, fishes in the pond is increased, predators are now coming to the pond and attacking the fishes. At the same time, the most important thing is there is limitation in the space also. So the population size is maintained constantly when it reaches the carrying capacity level. That is the reason I said there are environmental resistance as a limiting factor which maintain carrying capacity. So one more example from human famine, that is Irish famine in 1845 to 1849. Irish people, the staple food is potato. So they have developed the potato farming continuously. Only problem is they used a monoculture, that is only single gene of potato was used, that is called lumper. Because of this reason, for widespread dependency upon the single crop and lack of genetic variability in the potato plants, there is a Phytophthora infection in potatoes which led to blackening of the potato plants and potatoes. So when the Irish people are growing this crop continuously for years and years, they first had a very worst year in 1847, that is called Black 47 year. This infection for potatoes, that is algal infection, it has grown to the peak extent that they received nothing even though they are farming a lot. So entire potato fields were devastated and they faced a great famine in the year 1845 to 1849. Sorry. So this is about blackening of potatoes, and this was state of Irish people in 1847 in the black year. So this is also called carrying capacity. The carrying capacity of the soil for the potato crop has reached its maximum extent. So it developed that algal infection. So in the present era, severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS, MERS, and as you all know, COVID-19 are playing a major role to control population growth. They reach a carrying capacity. So this is what environmental resistance means.
Created using Powtoon.
So what are the uses of carrying capacity? Carrying capacity is helpful in resource management. It also helps us to know how much population sustained by the system, and carrying capacity of a grassland provides useful information regarding number of livestock to be grazed there in a sustainable manner. Human beings using maximum resources on this earth, and they are growing in population size due to social, cultural, and technological transformations. They have increased their food base, land habitat, medical facilities, shelter, which has helped them to increase carrying capacity on the earth. However, there is a limit to the extension of Earth's carrying capacity because human beings not only use the resources but also release toxic wastes into the environment. Global human population, if not controlled and stabilized by us, we are bound to crash to the Earth's carrying capacity triggered by natural disasters, famines, and many other diseases. Thank you.